Okay, so we're back for another deep dive.
Yeah.
And this time, I'm really excited about this one
Me too.
because, well, first of all, Andor is my jam.
Yeah. One of the best Star Wars things in years.
Oh, absolutely. But also because the character we're gonna deep dive on today, Syril Karn.
Yeah.
Syril Karn, like, he's just so fascinating.
He really is.
Right, like he's one of those characters you love to hate him, but you also kind of feel for him.
You want to know more.
Yeah, exactly.
What makes him tick?
Yeah, so whether you're like a hardcore Star Wars fan, gearing up for season 2, or you're just kind of curious about like well-written, complicated characters, I think we've got something for you today.
Absolutely. We're going to break down everything that makes Syril Karn so compelling. From, his backstory and motivations to those key moments that really define his arc in season 1.
And I think a good place to start is with, his initial role in the show.
Right.
He's a deputy inspector with Preox Morlana, corporate security in the Morlani system.
Yeah, basically like a company cop in space.
Right. And he takes his job so seriously.
Way too seriously.
Way too serious. Like, it's more than just a job for him.
It's his whole identity.
Yeah. And even his background kind of hints at this, like, intensity,
Yeah, for sure.
Growing up on Coruscant under a strict mother, Edie Karn.
Don't forget the influential Uncle Harlow, too.
Oh, yeah, right? Uncle Harlow always pulling strings in the background.
Exactly. So you can already see how ambition and a need for order were probably ingrained in him from a young age.
Plus, you got to factor in that he lived through the Clone Wars as a teenager and young adult.
Huge galactic conflict. I mean, that's bound to leave a mark on you.
Oh, absolutely. And there's this little detail that I find so interesting about Karn.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
He owned clone trooper action figures as a kid.
Huh. I never really thought about that.
Yeah, and there were, these relics from a time when the Republic was crumbling and the Empire was rising.
Interesting, yeah.
So what do you make of that? Like, why hold on to those figures all the way till joining Premor?
Well, it could be a kind of nostalgia for a time when things felt more ordered, more black and
The
white.
good guys and the bad guys, yeah.
Exactly. Or maybe it's a way of subconsciously grappling with that chaotic period in his life, the Clone Wars.
Yeah, try to make sense of it.
Exactly. And, that need for order that we were talking about, it kind of manifests in his career too.
Totally. Like, he goes from Coruscant to Morlana 1, and he throws himself into this job.
Yeah, and rises through the ranks pretty quickly to deputy inspector.
And it's not just the rank, it's how he carries himself.
Oh, right, the uniform.
Yeah, it's tailored, tighter, more decorative than the standard issue. Like, he's trying to project this image of authority.
Yeah, almost like he's overcompensating for something.
Right. Like, maybe deep down he's insecure.
Could be, or maybe he's just a control freak.
Maybe a bit of both.
Probably, yeah.
And that need for control, that meticulousness, really comes out when those 2 Premor officers are murdered.
Oh yeah, his boss wants to just sweep it under the rug, but Karn won't let it go.
He's like a dog with a bone.
He puts together this massive report, traces a rogue ship, even gets info from a brothel worker about someone asking about Kenari.
It's almost impressive how dedicated he is to following procedure.
It is, in a way. He's working within the system. He knows the rules and regulations.
But it also shows how rigid he can be.
Yeah, totally. He's so focused on the rules that he doesn't always see the bigger picture.
Like when he tries to use a 6-year-old Imperial census to find someone from Kenari.
Right, like the system's not exactly up to date.
Exactly. And then comes the tip from Tim Carlo.
Oh yeah, naming Cassian Andor.
And you can see Karn's ambition really kicking in.
He thinks he's gonna crack this huge case.
Yeah, but he's so naive about how things actually work outside of those regulations.
Totally, and that naivete really shows when he finally gets the go-ahead to apprehend Andor on Ferrix.
Oh man, that whole operation was a disaster.
Yeah, the briefing he gives to the inspection team is described as awkward.
Yeah, he doesn't have a clue how to actually lead people.
He's all about the what of the mission, but not the how.
Or the why.
Right, and then they go to arrest Andor at Marva's house, and it's just a complete mess.
They ransack the place, expect the locals to cooperate, like he just totally misread the situation.
Yeah, he doesn't understand the community's loyalty to Marva or their resentment towards corporate security.
And then the ambush at the warehouse, the explosions, it all just spirals out of control.
Karn's completely out of his depth.
And in the middle of all that chaos, he gets disarmed and tied up by Andor.
Yeah, and remember Rel wanted to kill him.
Oh yeah, but Andor stopped him.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, what do you think was going through Andor's mind there?
Maybe he thought killing Karn would just bring more heat down on them.
Yeah, could be. Or maybe he saw something in Karn, like a glimmer of something redeemable.
Maybe, but then you've got the exploding speeder. and more of Karn's men are killed.
Oh yeah, that's a brutal scene.
Karn's just completely shattered.
Mosk has to literally drag him away.
Yeah, and then the consequences come down hard.
Oh yeah. Supervisor Blevin rips him a new one.
He dissolves the entire corporate security division in the Morlani system.
And Karn gets fired. It's the ultimate humiliation.
His whole world comes crashing down.
Yeah, he goes back to Coruscant, tail between his legs.
Back to his childhood bedroom.
And his mother, that's a whole other dynamic.
Oh yeah, the slap, followed by the hug.
Talk about a complicated relationship.
So he's back where he started, traumatized, fixated on Andor.
He refuses his uncle's help at first.
But eventually caves and takes a dead-end job at the Bureau of Standards.
Fuel purity of all things.
What a fall from grace.
But the obsession with Andor doesn't go away, does it?
Nope. He starts sending the ISB these fake reports trying to get their attention.
Why do you think he does that?
He's desperate to regain some sense of relevance to prove he wasn't wrong about Andor.
Yeah, like he needs to validate his actions.
Exactly. And that leads to his interrogation by Dedra Meero.
Oh yeah, that's a fascinating dynamic.
Two very ambitious people, but with very different approaches.
Karn totally misreads her, though.
Yeah?
Right?
Oh yeah, he thinks she's a kindred spirit, someone who understands his drive.
But she sees right through him.
And then he gets this bizarre promotion at the Bureau of Standards.
For services rendered to the Empire?
The irony is just thick with this guy.
Yeah, he's basically rewarded for his failures.
And his interactions with Meero just get weirder.
He's waiting for her outside of work, sees her as some kind of savior.
It's getting a bit creepy.
Yeah, and even her threats don't deter him.
He's too far gone at this point.
And he hears about Marva's death, and he just knows Andor's gonna come back to Ferrix.
And he's gotta be there.
Yeah, so he goes undercover as a salvager with Mosk.
Talk about dedication.
Right. And then at the funeral, the bomb goes off, and Karn does the most unexpected thing.
He tries to save Meero.
Yeah, puts himself in danger for someone who's shown him nothing but contempt.
So what's his motivation there?
I don't know, it's so complex. Is it a sense of duty? Is he trying to impress her? Is it some weird mix of both?
I think it's all of that and more.
Yeah, he's such a mess, but that's what makes him so interesting.
Absolutely, and then he actually rescues her from the rioters.
And we get that amazing shot of her looking up at him.
Yeah, that stunned gratitude.
So much left unsaid.
The tension is palpable.
So yeah, Syril Karn, he's a mess, but he's our mess.
That's a great way to put it.
And I think a lot of the credit goes to Kyle Solar's performance.
Oh yeah, he brings so much nuance to the role.
And the writers clearly wanted to make him a complex character.
Yeah, Tony Gilroy has talked about how he saw Karn as this rule-oriented careerist, not just some straight-up fascist.
And Solar's take on the character is that his meticulousness is a way of coping with his inner turmoil.
Makes sense when you think about his upbringing.
Yeah, that whole absent father thing definitely left its mark.
And Solar and Catherine Hunter actually worked together to flesh out that backstory.
That's cool.
Yeah, they really dug deep into the characters and their relationship.
And Solar has said that Karn sees himself as the hero of his own story.
Which is so true.
Yeah, he's always acting on what he believes is right, even when it's totally wrong.
And that's what makes him so unpredictable.
Exactly, we have no idea what he's gonna do next.
Will he double down on his loyalty to the Empire? Will he have a change of heart?
Who knows?
That's what makes him so compelling to watch.
So there you have it, Syril Karn, a character defined by his ambition, his need for order, and his complicated relationships.
He's made a lot of mistakes.
But his journey is far from over.
And I can't wait to see what happens next.
Me neither. But before we go, I want to leave you with a question.
Oh yeah.
What do you think drives Syril Karn at his core?
That's a good one.
Is it the pursuit of order, a desperate need for validation, or something else entirely?
Think about it.
And how will those motivations shape his choices in Season 2?
Lots to ponder.
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
May the Force be with you.